Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight.
But those who worship evil's might,
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is the Master of the Core.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And, well, we threatened it, and we're here. That's right, kids. Week 1 of Wrath of the First Lantern. So, enjoy this for this week and the next 3 weeks. So,
we'll be wrathing out with the First Lantern.
Wrath. Oh yeah. And again, by the time we get to the end of this, I mean stuff with the Guardians and.
Yeah, I'm still.
Oh, but you know what you wrote before we even get to any of that. You know what you reminded me about when you were talking about which background to use. We were talking to Guy Gardner. We got our first big look at Guy Gardner in the Superman trailer. We got the Superman trailer.
Yes, that's right, and it had crypto.
Yeah, yes. They're pushing. I don't know if it's just because it's the holiday season, but I mean they're pushing hard. I mean I've still seen commercials for that trailer on TV. I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
I watch it every time.
It looked good. I have some hope that it's going to be done really well done. Although I have to say, as good as Superman looked, as good as Crypto being there, and Guy Gardner. The bowl cut.
Yeah, I don't know if it works on Nathan Fillion. Yeah,
I don't know, but hey,
Or I mean, is that kind of purposeful, or is he supposed to really have a very punchable face?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to think about Guy that way because I'm so accustomed to post Rebirth Guy, or actually even post Emerald Twilight Guy. Because after Emerald Twilight, they matured the character a lot, and he wasn't the guy of old, especially the basically, comedy backup that he was with Gnort and all that, with the Yellow Ring and all that from the early, so.
I'm thinking Bull Cut's saying we're going to get personality wise, we're getting Guy Gardner in like the 80s and 90s.
JLI probably Guy Gardner. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if that's going to be like. Once they eventually, I don't think it's going to be in Superman, but when they eventually introduce Batman, is that going to be his first on-screen shot at him like punching out Guy?
One punch.
I
don't know. It looks like the team, I guess, for lack of a better word, led by Mr. Terrific. I don't know if it's the Terrifics or whatever it is, but it looks like Guy's a member of that. So the costume is certainly not what we want to see as a Green Lantern costume.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen so many rumors. Like, could it be? I saw something about is Max Lord controlling them, or I mean, I did see a sign for Stag Industries. So there's a lot.
Yeah, 'cause it looks like we got Metamorpho in there as well.
Oh yeah. Was it Hawkgirl? Who else did we see there? Sort of Mr. Terrific, yeah. Guy, and I thought there was somebody else, but.
There may have been. I just don't.
Yeah.
Oh, overshadows it all.
Hello, Noel Tate. Yes, of course we should mention Guy Gardner. He goes one punch. I mean, I'd say that's probably his most well-known, especially for people who aren't like entrenched in Green Lantern stuff. That's one of the big moments everyone knows is the one punch. Yeah.
Yeah, from Justice League. Yeah, and but that's. And again, I actually had a hard time when we read Millennium because it was still that guy, but he had been hitting his head, so he was super nice.
Yeah, like they were really staring into that gag where it's like, he kept getting hit on the head, so he'd go from
exactly,
douchey guy to really nice guy.
Yeah, so I've just grown so accustomed to the Guy Gardner post Emerald Twilight Guy Gardner, who is this more mature kind of elder statesman, and then post Rebirth, he's the guy that we know and love. Right?
Unless they play with that, and over time, he's going to mature, because I think they said he's going to show up on that Lanterns TV show whenever the heck we get that.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful about that show, but I mean, the last what was it? Beware My Power, the animated movie. Oh, yeah. That was so bad. And,
I know.
I mean, from a Green Lantern fan, let alone, okay, first off, back up. Of course, I love, Hal Jordan, but regardless of what they did to him, what they did to John and what they did to Kyle, and kind of giving John Kyle's origin, and then of course Hal is Parallax, and then he dies, and it was just, and then hey, let's throw the Rann-Thanagar War on top of that, and what else did they throw in there? They threw
Parallax.
Yeah, I mean, it was my concern is that Hal isn't going to be around for very long on the Lantern show.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are making him older. And, is that the Parallax path that we're seeing? If it's a redemption arc, cool. If it's just, oh, hey, we're going to get him in here, and the twist is, oh, he's going to die, great, whatever, So, I mean, I would think, and this is all supposition, I don't know anything because I don't know anything, but I would think that if you're going to adapt Green Lantern to either television or the big screen or both, then you're going to want to integrate elements from the lore of Green Lantern, and especially the lore of the time when it was the most popular. I mean, it rivaled... Who did it rival, Phil?
Oh, wait. Yeah. Wait, what do you... Wait.
Yeah, Green Lantern sales rivaled who?
Oh, yes. Yeah, because the New 52, it was Green Lantern and
Batman. My favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that they would want to integrate that. That would be the primary lore that they would want to integrate, because that's when it was its most popular. And I would think that would translate really well to the big screen or even, television. But
I just wonder if we're doing we have a Crypto currently, but in a Crypto, it screams Silver Age to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I mean, and that's something, I mean, if they're going for a more Silver Age approach, then, 50-plus-year-old Hal Jordan doesn't really fit that vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know Jon Stewart is extraordinarily popular from the Justice League cartoon, which is cool. And, John's a great character, but a lot of, I feel like, what makes modern Green Lantern work is, it's not just Hal, it's not just John, it's not just Guy, it's not just Kyle, it's all of them, plus Simon and Jessica, and now Joe, and then the rest of the core. I mean, it's this gigantic thing. And if they're taking a more Silver Age approach, I mean, one of the great things that I loved immediately post Rebirth was, hey, there's 2 Green Lanterns per sector, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Is that something we're going to see? I mean, maybe, because we have John and Hal in the series, apparently. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm really optimistic about the Superman movie. I'm hopeful, but very cautious about the Green Lantern show, honestly.
Yeah. Again, hopefully, because it's a TV show, they won't try to jam in too much at once. And yeah. Well,
I mean, and I'm fortunate as a Hal fan that Hal's at least going to be there. John's at least going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Guy, but is Kyle going to make an appearance at some point? For Kyle to make an appearance, do we have to get the Parallax story?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
And then are we ever gonna do like Simon, Jessica, or Joe,
or even hey, now that if we've done if we do the Parallax story and we get Kyle, are we gonna do a Rebirth? And are we gonna get a Sinestro? I mean, can you imagine a Sinestro Corps War movie?
Oh,
would that not be freaking awesome?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Or even Blackest Night. I mean, you and I have, I think, probably gone on record multiple times that Blackest Night is probably the best executed crossover that DC has ever done.
And I mean, even if people aren't like in the superheroes per se, I mean, you got the zombie angle. You got so much going on. Yeah.
And, I honestly think Blackest Night's probably the absolute pinnacle of, intra-company crossovers. I don't know that there's been one that's better.
I mean, especially if you hook the whole DC universe into that. I mean, that'd have to be more than one movie. I mean, done right, that could be a Infinity War Endgame level.
Exactly. Wow, are we talking about Brightest Day tonight or something?
I was going to say, or Action Comics Weekly. Oh, but it just ended, but Mark Waid just did, oh God, was it like 10 or 12 weeks in Action Comics Weekly, but it wasn't like the original. He wrote a Superman story. Yeah. And then there was a backup Supergirl story by, Mariko Tamaki. So yeah, it wasn't like the old Action Comics. It was weekly. It was good. So
it was good. Nice.
Well, he did a whole Phantom Zone story. Mark Waid did a whole Phantom Zone story, and Mon-El and is in there and stuff. Yeah. So,
Action Comics Weekly.
Yeah, the old one. Oh, jeez. All right, so I guess.
So anyway, yes,
Two
thumbs way up on the Superman preview trailer.
Now we're just gonna make it till July.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I did mention that I think the Hard Traveling Heroes Omnibus has shipped, or at least I think it's out now and should be shipping to me soon. So I'm finally going to get to read the Flash backup stories, which I've never had a chance to read before. So I'm looking forward to that. Nice. And I'm, of course, going to get number 18, which I've not read yet. Apparently things happen in there. Maybe one or two.
Exactly. All right. We ready to do this?
Let's do this.
All right. The first one has a nice big synopsis. The last three have like shorter ones, I think. So.
Well, but I mean, they all kind of follow the same, except for Red Lanterns.
Yeah.
It seems like they all kind of, well,
especially Green Lantern Corps, New Guardians. Yeah.
New Guardians. Those are pretty much the same issue with just different characters. So,
yes. All right. All right, so we'll start with Green Lantern number 17, which, in my opinion, has the best cover this week.
It does have a really nice cover.
All right, so Green Lantern.
I do have questions when we get to when we start talking about this one.
All right. All right, Green Lantern Volume 5, number 17, from April 2013, Wrath of the First Lantern, Part 1, The Puppeteer. And of course, big storyline, kids, means big list of creative on this. So, writer Jeff Johns, pencilers Dan Jurgens, Phil Jimenez, and Doug Mank. Inkers Phil Jimenez, Christian Alamy, Mark Irwin, Tom Guyan, Doug Mank, and Keith Champagne. Yes, your 6 inkers. Colorist Tony Avina and Alex Sinclair. Letterer Steve Wands, and editors Matt Idelson and Will Moss. All right, picture it. 10 billion years ago, on the planet Oa, Krona was conducting an experiment to discover the origin of the universe. Ganthet and a group of Guardians attempt to stop him. Krona's machine visualizes the image of a large hand. Ganthet pleads Krona to stop, but Krona believes his findings can benefit the universe. Suddenly, the Guardians see that the hand is wearing a green ring. Then the machine explodes. As the smoke clears, Ganthet discovers a mysterious figure dressed like an astronaut standing in front of him. This person, who's holding a lantern on his left hand, calls himself Volthoom, saying that he comes in peace. Simon finds himself in the Chamber of Shadows, with Black Hand standing in front of him. Black Hand wants out of the chamber. Meanwhile, the Guardians outside the chamber listen to Simon and Black Hand's voices. Simon says that he came to find Hal Jordan, but Black Hand says that Jordan is dead. He threatens to kill Simon if he doesn't help him escape, but Simon blindsides him with a truck construct. But Dig is also in the chamber, and Simon believes the Book of the Black can help them escape. The Guardians outside the chamber ask Simon to open the chamber so that they can escape, but Simon is not sure, thinking that the Guardians are worse than Black Hand. As Blackhand recovers and attacks Simon for calling him a psycho, a female guardian says that if the first lantern breaks free, then reality itself will be no more. Meanwhile, Volthoom has captured the Guardians in an energy sphere. The third army, created from Volthoom's energy, has vanished. Volthoom has taken the captured Guardians to Maltis. There he lectures the Guardians about how they have been always afraid of the emotional spectrum. Volthoom has always felt interested in Ganthet because he retained his emotions even when his kind rejected them. He then reads Ganthet's mind to see his memories. One particular memory that calls Volthoom's attention is when Sinestro became a Green Lantern. He becomes interested in Sinestro, wondering how much power he could take from his life. Volthoom also uses Ganthet's life force to return in time to the point when he and the Guardians decided to rid themselves of all emotions. Volthoom uses mind control on Ganthet, convincing the Guardians to remain emotional beings. Meanwhile, in the Chamber of Shadows, Blackhand continues attacking Simon until he sees an image of Aubin Sur. Using this small distraction, Simon constructs a hammer and releases the imprisoned Guardians. On Maltis, Volthoom realizes that his imprisonment has caused his power to decrease. He is unable to truly alter reality. However, Volthoom has gained knowledge of Hal Jordan, his friends and his enemies. Volthoom plans to use their life forces to regain his power and remake the universe as he sees fit. Although the Guardians have been released, Blackhand uses his ring to banish Simon to the Dead Zone. There he meets Hal Jordan and Sinestro.
Who don't seem too happy to see him.
What's it Sinestro says? He's like, don't tell me you're the Earthman. It was supposed to save us.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, just to make sure I have the chronology right, last time we left Simon and the dog, I think he said to pronounce it Badge.
Something like that. Yeah.
So, Simon and Badge went into the Book of the Black, but came out of the Book of the Black there at the chamber where the Guardians...
I don't know. I guess the book was just a gateway to the chamber. I don't know.
And then, of course, Blackhand, being the psycho that he is, acted like a psycho. So, yeah, okay. That tracks. Apparently, Volthoom can use the emotional spectrum to rewrite reality, right?
Yeah. And I guess he's not strong enough to make it permanent, because when he did try to rewrite, instead of Simon and Blackhand, it was William Hand and Aubin Sur. So I guess in his reality, he was trying to make no Earthman ever got a lantern ring.
Well, I assume it happened because the Guardians never abandoned emotion, and that changed everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, cool. I just want to make sure I had that still right in my head. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good issue.
All right, and as a big Green Lantern historian, Will, I need to ask you, what version of the Krona hand thing is this now? It has to be at least the fourth, doesn't it?
Fourth or fifth, I think.
Yeah. I mean, at first, wasn't it just like, oh, we're going to look back and see the dawn and the creation of the universe? I released
evil into the world.
Or it's my own hand. I mean, now it's just like, oh, look, it's wearing a ring, and who's this guy? And,
and now it's entropy, and okay, I think we're up 4 or 5 at this point.
I think every time a crisis hits, it changes that thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. But this one had a ring.
Yes. Then Volthoom, almost looks like the emblem's not it's not an American flag, but it almost looks like a NASA space suit. He said,
"Yeah." I'm curious to find out more about Volthoom, but he's obviously bonkers. So,
I mean, at least stuff happens this issue. But anyway,
yeah, exactly. Because actually, stuff happens in this issue. Some less stuff happens in Red Lanterns, but then nothing really happens in Green Lantern Corps or Green Lantern New Guardians.
Yeah. It almost seems like it's just like, just spin your wheels, kids. Yeah, we're gonna.
These things have had to happen here, so spin your wheels so we can all start again here in this one. Yeah.
But Volthoom all interested in Sinestro, from freedom fighter, the Green Lantern, to betrayer, to Green Lantern again.
To not Green Lantern. Maybe.
Exactly.
Is he still a Green Lantern?
I mean, I think he might still be on the payroll. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, technically, that ring isn't that ring technically still his? Like, he just made a copy for Hal, so.
Yeah, and then they merged back, and then they went to Simon. So, but he does have the ring with him, so that's a good thing. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sinestro did not seem pleased, though.
Oh well, no. I'm sure Hal kind of like forced his will on, be like, no, don't be sending it far away. Just send it to another human. And
yeah.
Oh yeah, Sinestro literally, please tell me you aren't the human who was supposed to rescue us.
So, but it was only Simon, not Badge, that went with him, right?
What?
So, what happened to Badge? I mean, during this stuff,
was
he just unconscious, or was he?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because I expected him to, do something against.
Yeah, because he went with them, right? He didn't stay on Earth.
Yeah, I thought that they both jumped into the Book of the Black. So
I don't know, but yeah, Volthoom. Yeah, because Volthoom's like messing with the Guardians, said they don't have enough emotions to recharge him. Yeah. So he's like, who has the this is important going forward, kids. Who has the emotions I need? And yeah, it just calls up like all these members of other, Green Lanterns and Star Sapphire and Atrocitus and Saint Walker. He's like,
there's lots of stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good start. It's just immediately at the start,
mm-hmm.
we then go into a holding pattern. I felt like so pacing. I feel like on this one which really has been a problem since Blackest Night. I think when you get right down to it.
You mean after Blackest Night or during Blackest? Yeah,
after Blackest Night. Once Blackest Night finished, the pacing just got wonky. I mean, things took way too long, or too short, or mostly too long. I mean, it was
I mean, I'd say it really hits home New 52.
Yeah, exactly. Because the rise of the Third Army. Good Lord.
And we're definitely in the age of okay, we need this many issues for a trade, or
Exactly.
Do remind me before we to end this show, we did get feedback from Tyler, our friend Tyler. So
awesome.
Yes.
I just remembered. I think that there is a Red Lanterns omnibus coming.
Oh.
I'll have to double check that. Let me write a note to do that.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of those New 52 series lasted like 52 issues or less. So a lot of them, a lot of those would be good for omnibuses.
New Guardians and Core, and I think Red Lanterns only went up to 4. I think those 3 only went up to 40.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so a lot of those, it'd be perfect, like omnibus sizes. All right, should we get to the next one?
Let's do it.
All right, let me get the cover here. Speaking of guys, all right. And again, I get the whole concept, but like this cover and even like the Kyle cover coming next, I mean, they seem kind of plain to me.
Yeah, I mean, and there's multiple versions. There's like a pencil that I saw. So yeah, and it's Andy Kubert. So I mean, it just seems kind of plain.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's a textless image that makes it even look more plain without the logo or anything on there. All right. Green Lantern Corps, Volume 3, number 17, April 2013. Wrath of the First Lantern, Part 2, Decimated. Writer Peter Tomasi, penciler Fernando Passarin, inker Scott Hanna, colorist Gabe Edelab and Will Quintana, letterer Dave Sharp, and editors Matt Idelson and Will Moss. All right, sit back for a long synopsis here, kids. Guy Gardner is attacked by Volthoom, where he sees Guy Gardner's past and torments Guy Gardner based on his actions of killing innocent people. Done.
All right, cool, very cool.
I mean, honestly, what else happens? He basically looks at Guy's past, and it's like,
yeah, and it gives him like some different. Hey, you now. Am I correct that before the New 52, Guy just had a brother who was dead?
Yeah, because remember that whole thing. Remember, like right after Kyle got the ring, they did that whole thing where that shadowy organization brought him back, brought the brother back, and yeah. He had to fight the brother, and yes.
But there was no sister. But now in the New 52, he has a sister and a brother, and he's the middle child.
Yes, he's the Gian Brady. Yes.
Marsha. How? Sorry.
Let me just thumb it.
I mean, I think this was well done, but it was just such a...
And it's so weird, too, because I think they do the cow thing, too, because all of a sudden the issue opens up and, like, Volthoom's, like, searching through Guy's, life and stuff, and it's just like, okay, when Volthoom get the guy, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, and it was cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, that page where you have the different versions of Guy stacked up behind him.
Oh, yeah, it's like a double-page spread, yeah.
Really cool.
Oh, yeah, the art's great.
I mean...
But there was no transition between the end of the Green Lantern issue to, but now he's messing with Guy, and it's like, okay, has time passed? It
was just boom, there we go, and
then we're gonna see him mess with Kyle in the next issue, and it's just like, is he doing this simultaneously? Is he jumping from person to person? It's
Kyle back on Earth, or is he not back on Earth? What's going on?
Because he shows. We see. Guy in his like early childhood, and then there's the scene where him and the sister fall in the frozen lake, and then the brother helps fish them out, but then Volthoom's like, what if it was you trying to fish them out? And he doesn't save his brother and sister, and of course the dad blames him. And then the whole thing, I guess, when he was a cop, and now we're showing why he
not on the force.
Yes, because of this guy with this bomb at the airport. And
this actually plays really well as a New 52 because, hey, there has to be a body count.
Yes.
1,000 people to save 1,000, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this guy at the airport, guy shoots him and sets off the bomb. It kills a handful of people, but at least it didn't take out way more people, because that's what even Volthoom says. Chose to save them.
Yeah, Volthoom shows him that. Yeah,
he chose to save the majority at the expense of the minority. So.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so it's just Volthoom picking these moments in Guy's life and saying, well, what if it went this way?
Yeah, let's make it happen that way. No, let's make it happen that way.
And then talking about when the red ring zeroed in on him.
And then he kills everybody.
Boy, I guess it's a good thing Guy's never going to have a Red Lantern ring again.
Oh, wait, that's good. So, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that we had a plot in motion. We actually had some forward momentum, which we had not had in a very long time, right? Since pretty much the New 52 began.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes to a screeching halt in this issue.
Is this the thing? Is this story isn't as good as, like, say, a Sinestro Corps War or a Blackest Night, because with those, we kind of gave everyone something to do. Right now, at the moment, there's nothing for Guy to do. There's nothing for Cal to do. So it's just like, well, let's just ruffle through their memories.
Yeah, and there's not really... I mean, Atrocitus does get something to do.
Yes.
And Simon has something to do, but actually, Hal and Sinestro have not really had anything to do for 6 months at this point. 6 issues.
Again, I mean, as you pointed out, everything after Blackest Night, but I'd say especially since New 52, it's like, you want to do these big crossovers, but it's like you're not giving everyone something to do. You need a story worthy of a crossover. You need something for everybody to do. Yeah.
It's got to be, if it's going to be in parts, this part has to serve the whole, but it's got to move the story along. And this one doesn't really move the story along. I mean, I would feel differently about this issue.
Yeah. If
the New Guardians issue wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because it would have shown us what he's capable of and shown him, and that would have moved things forward because we now know what's going on, but then we get the same thing again.
Yeah.
Right?
Or it's like, again, it's month 1 out of 4 months, but it's like, well, then maybe you don't need to do a 4-month story. Maybe you do 1 or 2 months. Yes. Especially when you got 4 books every month. It's,
So, yeah, I mean, it's nothing really happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ultimately what it is. I mean, we learn about Guy's history that is probably going to get changed anyway. I mean, I don't know. But,
well, yeah, probably after New 52, yeah. Because I don't even know. I'm like, I don't know if they've even mentioned his family since, like, Rebirth, the Rebirth that comes after New 52 and beyond. But
I've not really read any of those.
I'm like, I wonder if he still has 2 siblings. I
don't know. I do know that the New Guardians issue kind of highlights something about a development that I do want to talk about. So
I haven't read ahead yet, but I'm just worried because at the end of this Green Lantern Corps issue, it says next issue, the inner demons of John and Fatality. So I wonder if Volthoom's just going to be doing what he did to Guy here with John and Fatality next time. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
I guess that's a problem with having a Corps of Thousands, because after John and Fatality, is going to be like Kilowog or somebody or Arisia. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
All right, we're moving along to part 3.
Yeah, let's talk part 3.
See why we talked about the bolt cut so long, kids? All right.
Yeah, that's an interesting cover.
At least with the colors. Oh, who's the artist? Andy Kubert and Brad Anderson.
Okay, so Kubert did the last one, so he did the Guy cover as well. So, okay, cool. So, all right, let's get this super long.
At least it's colorful.
Yes, let's get this super long synopsis.
Okay. All right. Green Lantern New Guardians, Volume 1, Number 17. Wrath of the First Lantern, Part 3. 2 reunions and a funeral. April 2013 again. Writer Tony Bedard. Penciler Aaron Cooter. Inker Aaron Cooter. Colorist Will Quinta. Letterer Dave Sharp. And editors Kate Dura and Will Moss and Matt Idelson. All right. Volthoom encounters Cal Rayner and tries to put him in an illusion where he sees his dead girlfriend Alex, but Cal breaks free of his illusion. Volthoom feeds on Cal's misery, gaining him more power before he disappears.
Yay.
Yay!
Okay. So, this is not a criticism of Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
This is a criticism of
the writing?
White Lantern.
Oh.
What even are the powers of a White Lantern? What is a White Lantern? I mean, is it drawn on the power of the primordial being? Is it creating life? I mean, what?
I thought you were going to bring up when Kyle's like, yeah, give me this new reality you're offering me. I'll do anything just to keep Alex alive, even if I have to die. I'm just like, oh, really? Going to sell out the whole universe for...
Does not sound like Kyle.
No! I swear he's had this choice before, and he said no, As much as I would love that,
even Kyle post the fridging would not have done that.
No, even early Kyle was like, and I have to move on, and between the whole Oblivion thing or the annual we will not speak of.
Oh yeah,
which they never even spoke of ever again.
What was that? Something Tuesday, Freaky Friday, the Freaky Friday annual.
Exactly. And then Kyle's like, I would never forget Alex, and then he proceeds never to speak of her again.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
And that's the weird thing. I think it was a Ron Mars too, and I'm just like, I don't know. It almost seems like it was an editorial. Hey, why don't you do this story? How about I don't? How about you do? Okay. Because this one we see. Well, Kyle wakes up in his apartment, and first he's battling Volthoom, and again we get the just like the guy get the every version of Kyle. Although he doesn't seem to shuffle through his life, he just goes right to the girl for right to Alex,
and then the post Emerald Twilight. I mean, he ends up meeting a really annoyed guy that has a ring, which doesn't make any sense if Hal was never resurrected, because then Core never came back, but maybe it did.
Oh yeah, because once Kyle kind of sees through the Alex thing, and then Volthoom gives him a thing where he basically is working with his father and as a mechanic. Yeah, that doesn't work out. So he kind of give him a reality where how there was no rebirth. So
I think it had the Sinestro Corps sigil on the moon burned into it, right?
Yeah.
Which was really cool, actually.
Because once Guy attacks, Kyle's like, wait a minute. He's like, Hal stopped the Sinestro Corps, and Guy's like, Hal died years ago, reigniting the sun. So Hal wasn't even Spectre. Parallax reignited the sun, and that was it.
Yeah, exactly.
He says, it was you who let the Sinestro and his gang of killers wreck it. So Hal didn't resurrect. I was going to say Sinestro did, but I guess, what was it? Sinestro was still alive, but I guess he was in hiding the whole time Hal was...
Yeah, I guess. And then I guess the Corps was restarted just without Hal. Because Guy has a ring.
Although remember, Kyle brought that ring back from the past that he could copy and give a thing to Jon Stewart. So maybe they just copied the ring, gave Guy a ring to. I don't know. Oh, he says most of the core, so maybe they try to restart the core.
I don't know
with that ring, if nothing else. But yeah, Guy's basically just giving them we counted on you to fill Hal's shoes, and you paid, and Earth paid the price.
He got over that a long time ago. That's something about this issue that really kind of jumped out at me, is that all of these things Volthoom goes into are things that Kyle has dealt with and moved on from. I mean, a long time ago, at least a universe or two ago,
Exactly. But again, New 52 is already contradicting itself here. Because remember, like, was it early in New Guardians, there was some flashback where it seems like Hal was there early on with Kyle, but it's like, so we were like, did Emerald Twilight happen? But now here it seems like
it did.
Kyle remembers Emerald Twilight did happen. So again, they never nailed. That's another big problem. They never nailed down their timeline. It's like, well, did Emerald Twilight happen? Because I don't think they ever like informed the writers or anything. It was basically just like, yeah, do what you're going to do. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's their histories and the histories that the writers chose to reference are what make these characters. So if that suddenly shifts, then
and again, I love Kyle, but it's like it's the Batman problem. With a Robin a year, it's like, well, right now you have four Earth Lanterns. Simon just showed up, but it's like the New 52 is only supposed to be 5 years old, so it's like, so was Hal a Green Lantern for a year, then Guy, then John, then Kyle?
Yeah, how did that work?
And didn't Emerald Twilight happen?
Yeah.
And like I said, the biggest thing to me when he says here, towards the end, I want the version where Alex is alive. It doesn't matter what that means for me. I just want to give Alex her life back. So Volthoom says, give me the power of the White Lantern. He'll be like, yeah, sure, here, take it. Yeah. As long as you bring Alex back.
And no.
Because he doesn't, Kyle doesn't fight him because Volthoom's just like, no.
Yeah, not going to happen. Yeah.
But because Kyle's like, what? But you just said, and he's like, no, I just wanted you to believe it. And then rip it away.
I could jerk it away.
Yeah.
Yoink.
He says, I thought you might prove emotionally evolved like me, but you are nowhere near my equal, nor even suitable as a companion. Like the other, best you can do is feed me your misery. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, was there a body count in this one?
I mean, it's all illusion, isn't it? But I mean, when Guy comes to Kyle, he tells him, he's like, how many people died when, during the Sinestro Corps War?
But I mean, in Guy's illusions, those were the actual history that he then changed. So there was a body count.
There was no actual like Kyle's history in this. It was basically like, oh, what if Alex was alive? What if he was with his dad?
And where is Kyle? Is he still on Oa?
Last episode did it everyone came to Oa, right? Like Guy and Kyle and the New Guardians, and then Atrocitus and the Manhunters showed up pretty much everyone except Simon and Hal and Sinestro are on Oa, I think, at this point.
Well, I think Atrocitus went to Maltus.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of Manhunters went to
But he sent
Oa.
the Manhunters though. Yeah. So, but I'm pretty sure Kyle and Guy and them are on Oa. And again, is Volthoom doing this simultaneously to Guy and Kyle, or is he just like, okay, I'm done with you, Guy. Let's come here, Kyle.
Yeah, let's go focus on somebody else now. Yeah, this was just, again, it's like, hey, we're going. Brakes are on. We're not going anywhere for a while.
Exactly. Oh yeah, here's the black and white version. Well, of Kyle and that. Yeah, the colors make that.
Make it pop. Yeah.
Mm. All right, should we get to the last one?
Let's get to the last one.
3 more weeks to this, kids.
It's gonna get better.
Well, I hope at least the ending's a little better. Hope we're not.
That is an interesting cover.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that might be the best cover. I do like the Green Lantern cover as well with Simon. Mm-hmm. This is more emotionally charged.
Oh yeah, I mean, when's the last time you see a Guardian do anything? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. This synopsis is a little longer, but not by much. Red Lanterns, Volume 1, Number 17, Wrath of the First Lantern, Part 4, Sympathy for the Devil. April 2013, of course. Writer, Peter Milligan. Penciler and inker, Miguel Speloveda. Colorist, Rain Barreto. Letterer, Carlos M. Mangle. And editors, Matt Idelson and Will Moss and Kate Thura again. Atrocitus goes to Maltis, the abandoned home of the Guardians, where he meets the spirit of Krona and goes to the Great Heart. Volthoom appears and destroys Krona's spirit and encounters Atrocitus, who escaped from the Manhunters. Volthoom grabs Atrocitus and sees his entire life. Meanwhile, Rancor saves a woman named Kim from being mugged.
And that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, again, the Red Lanterns aren't the Green Lanterns or anything, but I just love it. It's like, yeah, it's like Volthoom's about to rewrite all of reality, but yeah, Rancor can be on Earth stopping a mugging. Yeah, we don't.
Don't forget oh crap, what's her name?
Bleeze. Is it Bleeze?
Bleeze following him for sinister reasons. I don't know. She's just hanging out.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, if it ever pays off, but I mean, she's just like, oh, you know, I can maybe I can convince him to help me take out Atrocitus or something, or
I don't know. And that whole plot where she wants to take out Atrocitus, that's just kind of been lost in the weeds, I think, at this point. And I'm okay with that. I having her as this plotter, I don't know, just never really worked for me anyway. But
I know. I mean, pretty soon here, she's going to be in the ranks of like Malvolio.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it was interesting that when Atrocitus got close to the heart, he started having these other emotions. And he almost felt, he did feel pity for Krona. And then they got it all boxed up, and he's like, oh yeah, feel the rage coming back. Just in time for Volthoom to show up.
Exactly.
And start doing to him what apparently he's been doing to everybody else. So, you know, something does happen, though. They go to, and, you know, the heart is revealed on Maltus, the heart being the repository of all of the Guardian's emotions, right?
Mm-hmm. And I was going to say, is this the first time they've done this where Krona's basically, he became obsessed with the past after his family died in a house fire, pretty much?
Yeah, I'd never heard of that before, and it doesn't make... it seems an odd thing to just throw out there. I mean,
I don't know if they were trying to humanize him, because every other version of Krona's been like, oh, he's a mad scientist or whatever, you know.
But, I mean, or was it, hey, Atrocitus is here, so I'm going to tell him a story that matches his, so he'll feel pity or something.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They were trying to be like, see, we're not so different, you know.
Yeah,
our families died and stuff, yeah.
I don't know that I believe that thing telling, you know, Krona's family was killed. I mean, for the Guardian, fire does not kill a Guardian, okay?
Well, I mean, was this before they were Guardian? Oh, wait. Were they just Malthusians?
Right?
What?
They were still immortal at that point, right?
Were they? Okay.
I mean, I don't know. It was very weird. It was very weird.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was his two wives and his child.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, cool.
So basically, Blue Mormons, kids.
Hey, that's a great band name.
Blue
anyway.
That's right. Electric Mullet's taken.
That's right. But yeah, I don't know. This I did like some of the stuff with Atrocitus in here. He absolutely nukes those androids or whatever after the Manhunters box up the heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, part of me, Ganthet has become so important to the Green Lantern book, whether that's Green Lantern Corps, even I would say New Guardians. His absence is kind of part of that book, right? You know, he influences a lot of Green Lanterns since Emerald Twilight, right? I mean, I enjoy Ganthet's Tale, but since Emerald Twilight, he's that named Guardian, and he's been in, you know, a lot of stories in the last 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we now have two ways to kind of, quote unquote, fix him, right? Mm-hmm. I assume Volthoom can either give him back his emotions or his emotions can be got out of the heart. So that's I haven't read any. I don't know how it's done
I
yet.
forget even. Yeah.
I assume that he's going to just. That's how Ganthet gets fixed. One of those two ways, and I hope I'm surprised, and it's better than that. But at this point, I don't know that I'm expecting that.
How Ganthet gets his groove back? Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and then I'm being reminded here. Yeah, the whole Rancor thing is weird because like when he stops the mugging, he breaks the guy's arm, and then immediately the woman's like, "Oh, here, let me buy you a drink," or basically like walks off. I'm like, would this woman walk off with this stranger? I mean, the mugger is the bad guy, but it's like who just broke another guy's arm?
Yeah.
How do you know this guy's not bad?
He's obviously better at violence than the other guy, and I didn't want to go out with the other guy. So okay. Yeah, that was a weird. And he put a grew kind of a fake him around himself.
Yeah, he tried altered himself to look normal. Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
Although that is a good thing. Yeah, when Atrocitus is basically like, wait a minute, how could I feel pity? Pity is weak. Pity is failure. What is pity compared with rage? And that splash page, yeah,
absolutely annihilates those robots.
So, oh Lord, but then Volthoom appears to him at the end. So I wonder if next Red Lantern is going to be him going through Atrocitus' life.
Oh yeah, where are we going to see the massacre of Sector 666?
Well, and again too, it's like how much has been boiling up in Atrocitus for a while? Is he like 1 billion years old or something?
Yeah, he's like really, really old.
So those emotions have been cooking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
does this? Please tell me that this gets.
I honestly I can't remember. That's what I said. I think I read these when they first came out, so I don't know if it's a good sign that I don't remember them. So,
but it's okay. Oh, yeah. I did shoot you that link. It looks like it's going to come out in June.
Yeah. I'll try to add that to the show notes here. Yeah. So, so you want to hear Tyler's thoughts on this?
Yes.
All right. So yes, our good friend Tyler Ferguson sent us feedback for this. He said, all right. Green Lantern 17 is a great chapter 1 to this event. Establishes focus on First Lantern's tinkering in the life constellation of each character in a search for power and rebirth. The line from him about the First Army not mattering may resonate with Will.
Yeah.
because Volthoom basically pulls his power and what the army just disintegrates pretty much.
Trillions, I assume trillions, if not quadrillions of these things just, boom, we're gone. I mean,
they're that powerful, you just take them. I mean, they're being powered by Volthoom, but still.
Yeah. I mean, all those deaths, I mean, surely the rest of the universe has kind of noticed that something's going on. I mean, whole star systems consumed by I mean,
I know.
The execution of the Rise of the Third Army just does not work for me.
Yeah. He said, Guy's issue was brutal. Don't have much else to say. Just put through the ringer. Well, that was brutal, all right.
Yeah, it was.
As someone who got into New Guardians through back issues after this event ended in 2013, the transition from heading to Oa to fight the Third Army in 16 to the alternate take seen in 17 was very abrupt. Yes.
We agree.
Yes. It's nice to come back and read pieces from this event and other ongoing series. Volthoom has this twisted kinship with Cal, seemed willing to give him whatever before he chose Alex near the end of the issue. Being stuck in the shadow chamber for so long took away his knowledge of strength gained from emotional bonds. Says, F you, Rancor, for not reaching out and helping the woman who's running away from the creeper sooner. I understand that he's got a lot going on, but come on, this isn't the time for self-pity or slightly incel behavior.
Exactly. Yes, I agree.
He's talking about Atrocitus. Big Red continued to spiral after finding out Krona had similar backstory to him, but finally finds his rage again after suppressing the Great Heart on Oa. He says, no, I never read this. By the way, have you ever read the Green Lantern Huckleberry Hound special from 2018? It's a surprisingly good Jon Stewart and Kat Matui story.
Oh, no, I have not read that yet. Okay, I've got to get that and read it. So yes, thank you for that. That sounds awesome.
Green Lantern Huckleberry Hound. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
No, I think I remember those. The only one I read was the Nightwing one. It was like Nightwing. Was it McGillic Gorilla or something? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It was like a mystery. Yeah. But yeah, I might have to find that too. Yeah, just for Cap Matui.
Yeah, thanks for the recommendation. I'm
yes.
writing that down right now.
But yes, thank you for the feedback, Tyler. Yeah, good. I think we're all on the same wavelength there.
Yep. Next issue is going to be better. Next group.
Yeah. And again, it seems like stuff's actually happening in the actual Green Lantern book, and I wonder what we're going to do in New Guardians now that he's actually tested Cal, or is he going to try to test Carol or something?
Yeah, and the thing that I think part of why Simon doesn't get as, cut as much slack is because in the time that we've had him as the Green Lantern, Earth, it really hasn't done much.
Well, I don't think they didn't give him much to do in New 52. They didn't really know him shot in New 52. Then by the time we get to Rebirth, he's already paired up with Jessica.
Yeah, at that point, it's a team book, right?
I
mean, I'm looking forward to that. But, his introduction here, which I think is cool, especially with the way, he kind of interfaces with Fear. It's interesting. It's just that I feel like to sideline Sinestro and Hal, which is what we're really doing, right? We have to put them somewhere where they're out of the way and can't do anything. To have them out of the way, Simon kind of is his introduction and his story while they're held out of the way, I think kind of needs to be held to a little bit higher of a standard.
Yeah.
Because of, what's happening with Hal, what's happening with Sinestro. That's been the core, driver of the book until, the Zero issue, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's not really fair to Simon.
No, they kind of his origin is tied into the event because, again, he only gets the ring because Hal and Sinestro get taken out.
Yeah.
Because, again, remember, Cal got 5 issues before they threw him in the 0 hour.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't remember who the villain was in 0 hour. I'll have to go look that up.
Oh, well, let me refresh your memory there.
Of course, somehow Jordan.
Yes, I know.
But again, Cal got a couple battles under his belt. Mongol, Major Force. He got to meet Superman and Alan Scott. Yeah, before he actually got thrown into his first big event.
Yeah, but this Simon was during. This whole rise of the Third Army, which again I think pulls away from his. We're already not happy with the pacing of the Third Army, and then you throw Simon into it, and it just seems like his story got stretched out, and it should have been more Simon. Doing more big things. But it was just kind of him holding down the fort and not really doing much, which doesn't really, I think, justify, keeping Hal and Sinestro out of the book, right? So and that's not really fair to Simon's character. So I'm looking forward to seeing Simon in, the Green Lanterns book with him and Jess. So I haven't read any of those, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
And then, I think even in Rebirth, those two share the Green Lantern slot on the Justice League, when Rebirth starts. So it's but it's, and again, I love Jessica, but yeah, I think they kind of, name me the big moment Simon Baz had by himself.
He ran away from the Justice League.
Yeah. Well, anything from now till the present day. Name me the big Simon Baz moment.
I can't give you one because I haven't read it.
Yeah.
It's certainly not his introduction or...
No.
I guess the big moment is healing his brother, but that's such a...
Yeah.
It's hard to show kind of in an action-oriented way, right? It just happened. So...
Because, he doesn't have the big advantage Cal had. Cal was the only Green Lantern for how long?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm assuming with issue 18 of all the books that we're now back to Hal and Sinestro.
And Simon, probably, yeah.
And Simon, so stuff should start happening. We have that very cryptic, Hal's going to be the best Black Lantern, the greatest Black Lantern, which I assume is going to pay out in this storyline.
Yes. All right, here's a thought. We can do this week to week, and then once we wrap up the whole, Wrath of the First Lantern, keep this in mind that we'll answer this question every week, and especially at the end. Could you have only read the Green Lantern book and not felt like you missed much in this crossover?
This week? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just wonder after the fact, after all 4 weeks, can you be able to say, oh, you could have just read 17 through 20 Green Lantern and got the gist of it?
I hope that's not the case.
I hope not either,
but it was definitely the case this week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you could just say, yeah, Atrocitus went and got the heart on Oa.
Yeah.
Or on Malta's.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a really good idea. So let's do that next week too.
So I mean, again, you could have did the whole Guy and Kyle thing and like give them each a page.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, he's shifting through their memories, or he tempted Kyle with Alex,
and oh, here's John, and here's like 3 other Lanterns that he's doing the same things to.
Yeah.
And then, in New Guardians, we're doing something else. I mean, you're right. I mean, I think you really hit the nail on the head. Is they didn't really there wasn't enough for everyone to be doing.
Oh.
Justify 16 issues of this crossover, right?
I mean, especially with now you've added Simon to the mix too. There's another Green Lantern you got to figure stuff out to do.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. Crisis on Infinite Earth was 12 issues.
Mm-hmm.
This is 16.
Yeah.
And look what happened in Crisis. I mean, every issue was important. Every issue counted. Every page of that counted, right?
I mean, you basically did every character in the DC universe at that point.
Yeah. I mean, in Blackest Night, I mean, the 9 issues of Blackest Night, those stuff happened. And I mean, plus you had Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps going on. So you had a lot of issues there.
But we were fighting on like a bunch of fronts too, like Earth, Oa, yeah.
Banshee. I mean, yeah. I mean, so yeah, I mean, this still feels like they haven't fixed their pacing problem yet.
Yeah, and I wonder too, it's because it seems like right now maybe it'll change, but like everybody has to stay in their own book.
Yeah, and that doesn't. I mean,
it's again just do everyone as a group, but you just move from book to book. At least the Green Lantern books, yeah,
exactly. That's
I think, that's hurting it too. It's just like, oh, the guy's only going to appear in the core book, and
yep, I agree completely.
All right, anything else?
No.
All right, kids. Next week, part 2.
Part 2.
All the 18 issues of all the series. So
that's right.
And then 19, and then 20. I don't even have to open the schedule. I know exactly what's coming. All right. So, but again, either way, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Just like Tyler's been sending in his thoughts. Thank you, Tyler. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes. And again, tell us we're right. And again, if you disagree with us, please let us know. We'd love some dissension, but no. All right. So, so part 2 next week with all the issue 18. Send us your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Just email us. CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes and Lunatics merch, the classic Capes and Lunatics merch. And again, more powerful, more deadly than any First Lantern. Well, Hellfire demands that you rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
And of course, the Patreon, where again, at least once a month, Lilith and I give you uncensored, exclusive content. And if you subscribe, you can tell us what to do. So yeah, send in your topics, and like Justin has many times, and Ray just sent one in because Justin and I just humiliated him into doing that. So. Yes. So subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, and you can find everything at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
Vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now for this, Mr. Will Allred, Master of the Core, Master of the Quantum Zone, Master of Podcasting, and several successful Kickstarter campaigns, which will tell them where they can find all your works.
You can find me at Walred. That's Gmail, Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter, and several other places that I probably can't remember at this point. But if you'd like to check out the books that I write, Crossover Division, we just fulfilled a couple months ago. Number 5, we're going to be launching number 6 probably in the new year, and that'll be on Kickstarter, so you can check that out at crossoverdivision.com. If you'd like to check out an older book that I wrote, we've got the trade of Diary of Night. It collects 4 issues. You can do that at diaryofnight.com. And you obviously have great taste because you're hanging out with Phil and I, listening to us talk about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. If you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
I am God. Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
5 inches.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
DeFalco.
Tom DeFalco.
That's right.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
Of course he does. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. All right, next week, Wrath of the First Lantern, Part 2.
Come back and rage with us.
Oh, nice. I almost said Rise of the Third Army. Still traumatized. Yes, Wrath of the First Lantern, Part 2. Issue 18 of everyone's book. Volthoom's still going to be doing counseling and
Volthoom counseling services.
we're going to talk to the dead. Yeah. All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, Canthid's going to get his groove back. Good night.
That's right.